Hey, love. It's Jen, your romantic fairy godmama. And today we're going to do things a little bit differently. I'm going to tell you a story about my love life. And then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Secret Society of Adored Women. Now, if you've spent any time listening to me, then you might know I come from a pretty dysfunctional family. I lost my mother in 2009 to alcoholism and pill addiction. And I have a difficult relationship at times with my father. When I was a child, I honestly didn't think my parents loved me at all. At least that was the story that I concocted in my head. And years later, as I started mantourage dating and met the love of my life, I got a really gigantic smack or slap of reality. My parents, even my father, they love me deeply. But because of their own inner demons, they had a shitty way of showing their love for me. It still took years into my relationship with my husband before I was finally able to unwind who my dad is. I thought that he really just didn't like me that much. The way he would snap at me, criticize me, yell at me at times, and lose his shit at me had me convinced that being around me only made him angry. It was obvious that he was my only big trigger with men. I have built so much confidence in myself since mantourage dating and being with my husband. And it really, really irked me that he was the only man left who could really get to me. Until one day this last year, I asked my husband if he would be my buffer. And he said, of course. Now, you see, after losing my mother and not having much family, I really wanted to figure out how to have my dad in my life without being triggered all the time. There are parts of my dad that I absolutely love, especially his storytelling. He is hilarious, and I could listen to him and his real life stories with impeccable detail and laugh out loud voices for hours. And I even hit record now on my phone so that I have these stories forever. I also admire him significantly for other reasons. He has always been a workaholic of extreme physical labor, and he's been a successful businessman doing so. He spent 30 years with my mother in a very tumultuous and highly dysfunctional relationship where she stepped out on him multiple times, yet he was never, not once, unfaithful to her. And he still says that she was the love of his life. He adores his grandkids, including my kiddo. He has been there for his second wife, who had a lung removed due to stage 4 COPD, and he's never left her side during the last 3 years of the ordeal through all of the medical chaos. And there was a lot of medical chaos. And it took me a long time to figure out that I could ask my husband to be my buffer, primarily because, like I mentioned, my father triggered the shit out of me, and I was too close to it to be able to think rationally. It also took me a while to realize that my father snapped at everyone. You know, he was an equal opportunity offender. He snapped at everyone at some point. It was who he had been since his 20s, and he wasn't targeting me. And then it hit me. Due to my husband's upbringing, he actually found my dad's tendencies funny, and he was never triggered by my father. Now, thanks to my husband being my buffer, I am starting to find it funny as well, even when he recently hurled what he thought was an insult right at me. I asked him something which he deemed stupid. He retorted in an angry, agitated voice, "Not everyone has a relationship like you and Will." Yep. He tried to insult me by saying my husband and I have a really good relationship. Now, why do I bring any of this up? Well, actually, this entire story is really about my husband. So many things hit me in 2020 in reference to my husband. I've always been grateful for him, but 2020 and how things are unrolling in 2021 is something really significant to me. I watched on the sidelines as we closed down the entire world and how it has affected single women. the loneliness, the isolation, the fear, the confusion, and also how it's affected married couples, especially with kiddos. The exhaustion, the fighting, the fear, the breakups, the permanent divorces. Now, I cannot say that it's been all rainbows and sunshine, but my husband and I grew closer in 2020. We perfected our comedy routine of starting to bicker and turning it into a stand-up set, and our kiddo says that we are the weirdest parents ever. Our sex life has become hotter, and even though we spend an insane amount of time together, we have spent an insane amount of time together, I've never felt closer to him. And this is not my normal, by the way. Normally, I can't handle spending this much time with one person. Plus, 2021 keeps getting better. We've had huge windfalls of goodness with a significant amount in store for the rest of the year, as well as the best relationship with my father I have ever had, specifically thanks to Will, my husband. So in spite of last year having a very dark theme to it, I had the softest, most wonderful place to land every single day of 2020, my husband. Now, you can say that I am one lucky woman, but honestly, luck had nothing to do with it. I found him and things worked out specifically because of mantourage dating. Statistically, we shouldn't work. In reality, we more than work because we thrive together. The biggest reason that we have an amazing relationship is because of the things I learned from mantourage dating. You see, I wasn't ready for a great relationship when I first met my husband, and he wasn't either. It took all of my scandalous fun and definitely magical mantourage dating experiences to prep me for success in our long-term relationship, because our relationship has had bumps, and it was the best relationship training that exists. Now, my results are not abnormal. Since 2010, I've helped single successful women from around the world to replicate and even achieve significantly better results than mine. By the way, my husband is also insanely supportive of my work, and he loves me even more for my success. And I exclusively work with women like you who want it all: career, success, to be loved, adored, romance, and who are willing to change the status quo in dating so that you can finally have the love life of your dreams, as well as a soft place to land at the end of your day. Now, how do I do this? This is specifically what I help women with in the Secret Society of Adored Women. Now, the Secret Society of Adored Women is 16 magically intense weeks working directly with me inside an incredibly small, and I mean really small. We're not talking big on any level, but extremely small cohort of single successful women, and it's designed to transform you into a romantically confident and irresistible woman that men absolutely cherish, love, and adore on your terms without changing who you are fundamentally. In a nutshell, it's a completely virtual opportunity that will show you the ins and outs of mantourage dating in order to attract the love life that you want. And never spend a mandated quarantine alone again if you don't choose to. Since it's a completely virtual opportunity, it means you can fully participate no matter where you live in the world, as long as you have access to a computer and the internet. Now, heads up, the membership interview window for the Secret Society of Adored Women, it closes this weekend, which means you have today and tomorrow to schedule your interview. And this opportunity is specifically for single women who are 28 and up and who are willing and able to mantourage date. I only take younger in special circumstances, and if you're truly interested, reach out to me first via email in order to ask. This is especially for women in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and up. Professional women who are a little or very tired of trying to figure out dating and love. Women who are willing to think and do outside of the box and shake up the status quo in dating so that they can create the romance and the love that they fantasize about. Women who want to learn how magic, badassery, and love actually do coexist. And women who are willing to prioritize their love life this year so I can teach you how to mentorage date in a way that leads to true love and the most incredible, memorable experiences. Now, if you want to understand and know the pricing structure, how everything is formatted, then I want you to go to secretsocietyofadoredwomen.com, and everything you need to know is there, as well as your opportunity. There is a link, a big gold button for you to schedule an interview with me. And I'll give you all of the details there. It's full transparency all throughout the page. There is no other dating experience in the world that rivals the Secret Society of Adored Women. Women I have worked with have incredible results, like going from no dates in 10 years to married in a year and a half, jet-setting romantic adventures, being in a healthy, fun relationship for the first time ever, feeling confident around men for the first time and men taking notice, having multiple men to choose from, being asked out on 6 dates in one day, 6, having a millionaire playboy fall in love with her, feeling good about men for the first time in her life, having a man fall head over heels for her after an incessant string of bad dates and being left by her husband with young children for a much younger woman, negotiating significant salary increases, new positions with ease in male-dominated industries, life-changing dating and love experiences to treasure forever, feeling alive and powerful instead of a constant hot mess romantically, being able to hold her own for the first time towards her contemptuous ex as she steps into a new adoring relationship without fear, more marriages, more kiddos, more magic, more turn-on, more success, and more of what true love feels like. Now, most successful, smart women I know and or have worked with have one thing in common. They are incredible at the rest of their life, but they feel powerless, uncomfortable, and awkward in romance. And just because you are smart does not mean you have to figure it out on your own or that you should even figure it out on your own. In fact, one of the fastest ways to unravel everything that's keeping you from the love life of your dreams is the Secret Society of Adored Women. But none of this means anything to your love life until you take the small step of courage by scheduling an interview at secretsocietyofadoredwomen.com. Procrastination is the exclusive killer of all dreams, especially in your love life. It's time to get your dating and love life in order and stop putting it off. It's definitely time to stop pretending you enjoy half-assed dating and love experiences, but most of all, it's absolutely the right time to develop your mantourage and let me help you create everything you want romantically, magic included, no batteries required. Furthermore, just an FYI, it's a non-political environment, and we will be focusing heavily on stepping into the inner workings of the adored woman so you can powerfully engage, influence, and change your romantic life forever. I always attract the most incredible women from around the world, and many of them have very different beliefs. This is a safe, intimate space for single, successful women, regardless of their political leanings, to work on their love lives and collaborate in everything she wants romantically. And it's not uncommon to experience fear or nerves while contemplating joining something as special as Secret Society, and this is a good sign. Now, what I want you to do is add your breath to it. Take several deep breaths and imagine having 3 men you are wildly excited about dating. Feel the thrill, the first kiss, his so masculine hand running down your back, the schoolgirl giddiness when he texts saying he can't wait to see you again, the incredible fun dates, and the magic of being in love with someone who is really there for you. Now imagine all of this without the extreme fear of heartbreak, disappointment, soul-crushing insecurities, and you have a small glimpse of what it's like to mantourage date with your romantic fairy godmama at your side. Now ask yourself, are you willing to leave all of this on the table for mediocre love and dating experiences at best? If not, then I'll see you at Secret Society of adoredwomen.com in your interview. I look forward to meeting you.